From the hills of Budapest to the Ardennes Forest, welcome along to Stavelo for round 12 of 24 of the Breakout Racing League Tier 2 Championship and the Belgian Grand Prix. Well, Spa-Francorchamps, the historic circuit located in the Ardennes Forest, was built in 1925 and has held 75 action-packed Grand Prix in Belgium. Well, that's the chaos in 98, the weather in 08, and the Turn 1 catastrophe in both 2012 and 2018. And if you want to add into the list, you can add in the Tier 3 championship from last night. Spa is known for great racing and terrific battles across a 7-kilometer or 4.352-mile distance. It has 20 corners, 9 to the left and 11 to the right. And it has a little bit of discrepancy, by the way. If you go look it up, it's kind of different. Some championships say it's 20, some it's 19. We'll go with 20 tonight. But regardless, it has 2 DRS straights across into the run into Le Comte and Les Sources in turn 1 and at the top at the end of the Camel Straight. Well, that's also going to be crucial because the average speed here is about 230 kph or 143 miles an hour, because it's not only one of the longest, it's one of the fastest circuits on the calendar, with 70% of the circuit taken at full throttle. Well, Pirelli has once again brought in the C4, C3, and C2 tires like they did a week ago in Budapest, with the C4 being the red-wooled soft, the C3 being the yellow-wooled medium tire, and the C2 being the white-wooled hard tire, plus the intermediates and full wets if the drivers deem so necessary. Right now, the weather holds up. It looks like it's going to be dry for qualifying. 11 races down, 13 more to go. But let's take a look at how the standings have changed since Budapest. But this man, walking chaos in his debut race, ended up winning the race. We'll see how he does in Spa this time around. Sweller's team, the Alfa Romeo, has a 21-point gap, 184 points to him. Wraith, his championship rival, 163 points to his name. Bosch Turbo in P3 is about 33 points back from Wraith and 54 points back from Sweller's team in the championship lead right now. Can he get any closer tonight? Toneless Death in 4th. He's 109 points to his name. 26-point gap to GM Heatwave, who split the Ferrari with Tweaking in 6th. No Limit in his race back a week ago after his quality ban a couple of weeks back at Silverstone. He now moves in position up to 7th, ahead of Mazzi in 8th and the other Alfa Romeo. Calzone in 9th with Master Plane in 10th, and only 7 points clear of this man in the Haas. Chaos. Well, now let's go at the constructors. Alfa Romeo, 63-point gap between them and Ferrari, with Red Bull lurking in the wings. 11 points back from Ferrari with 175 points to their name. Chaos is invalidated. Let's go and look at someone else. Wraith is on a flying lap as well. He just started one. Aston Martin sitting P4. They are 13 points back from Red Bull. That could be a fight to look out for. But another one to look out for is definitely a battle for 5th. McLaren and AlphaTauri, 6 points separating them. McLaren jumped AlphaTauri a week ago. We'll see how they play out this time. Mercedes sits 7th, 56 points to their name. 22 points back is Williams, with Haas jumping Alpine a week ago. 1 point separates the two, with 4 points back from Williams. 30 to Haas, 29 to Alpine. It's going to be a close championship, and it's not done yet. We're almost halfway, and it's time to get a move on. Now Higatra joined alongside by Redeemer and Redeemer. Obviously, me and you, both of us had some success so far this weekend in the equal tier racing at Belgium. What do you think it's going to take for these drivers in Tier 2 to, master and get the most out of this track as they possibly can? Could we possibly see an out win in Tier 4, Tier 3, Tier 2?
It's going to be interesting to see, obviously, as we've seen time and time again, that is a yellow flag for Wraith coming down in Pouan. It's going to be, like I was saying, it's going to be interesting to see, because most of these guys, we've seen it, time and time again. Heatwave obviously doing his first lap on the mediums. Good to see him back on the grid. And then just seeing what these guys can really do. Just pushing the track limits and just trying not to invalidate. A couple tricky places tonight, or for this race, is going to be definitely going up the hill, as Heatwave's going to win. But going up the hill through Eau Rouge and Radeon, a lot of guys in the Tier 4 race had to lift a little bit going through there. The car can get very loose on the entry, especially up top of the hill. And then, obviously No Name and the downhill right-hander after that. This track is just so iconic. You got to put the lap together and make sure you don't hit any walls.
Yes, that is one thing to definitely look out for. There's numerous corners that you can definitely see all throughout the Formula One, historic corner names, with those being obviously Les Comte, Pouan, and Blanchimont. And there's going to be some to look out for tonight. Mozzie goes P1 provisionally, 43.9 on the soft compounded tires, and that's about a 2/10 gap to Heatwave in the AlphaTauri on the mediums. But what can Groggy's Alpine do? He's going through also on the medium compounded tire, going through the bus stop chicane, the final couple of corners, and he's going to go open the DRS to the straight and see what he can do in this medium compounded tire, 45.5. And by the way, another thing to look out for, we talked about how invalidations and penalties, that's a big thing. We've seen it from Tier 4, Tier 3, Formula 2, and the Realistic Championship, but also the traction zone, especially in the exit of Les Sauces and the bus stop chicane, as Wellersteam goes even faster, 6/10 gap.
I just said Sweller Stream, don't mind me. It's been a long day of me doing nothing. So, but yeah, another corner for these guys to watch out for is the corner where Heatwave is going through. I don't know the number or the name for that one. But just as Sector 3 starts, as Groggy has spun at the end of the Camel Straight. Oh, Groggy, what are you?
Yes, he's crashed out.
What are you? Okay, I'm not gonna question that one. Yeah, back to what I was saying. That corner can be tricky. You gotta take the apex just right, and if you don't, you take it too shallow, you could end up on the grass and then lose the handling of the car, and then it just sends you into the barrier on the outside. We saw it in Tier 4 last night with what I did. Yes, Minico, I'm throwing myself under the bus for that one. If you're watching the stream, laugh at me as Walking Chaos. What a save!
Well, there's a lot of examples of that corner, especially biting people off. Avi in Tier 4, that's a name to look out for, as well as inside of Port. He did it during the Realistic Championship and validated as no limit going through Lecombe. That's going to be his lap done and dusted. But also, I believe the
No Limit's retired.
I cut away as soon as he did it. He crashed in the exit going into the run into Ravage, and he's going to be out of qualifying as well.
Wow,
that's going to save Groggy.
Tire is just rolling behind that McLaren.
Wow. It's about, 8 minutes into qualifying, and we already have 2 less drivers. We have a grid of 11 so far tonight, which means 9 are yet to set a confirmed time. No Limit's going to be behind Groggy Oregano at the minimum. Let's see how that plays out for him. Groggy, remember, on the mediums, he will start there. If he can finish there in the top 10, he will start on those medium compounded tire. Wraith is going to flying lap. You can see that tire right there from No Limit's car. The softs got us sitting up right in the middle of the track. Thankfully, hopefully, I'm not actually sure if you can actually hit that, and it would be solid. You want to Mythbusters on that?
I can't really tell you. I know last night in the Tier 4 chat when Butters crashed out in qualifying, his tire was in the same spot, and I never saw it, but apparently I ran through it on his screen as Chaos just went through that corner, and I didn't see it on his screen as he is now navigating down the hill to Puan. See how well he can handle this fast left-hander. He takes it nice. Kept it in 7th gear, a little bit of braking to help the car turn in.
It's going to be tough, by the way, a lot of these corners, especially with the curb thing these guys and Cody's reprofiled between the last couple of games, which honestly, in my opinion, has made the track a little bit more difficult to drive. Obviously, I really love Spa-Francorchamps, but the curbs at Lecombe, more difficult. The curbs down at No Name and De Puon, it was even worse last game. Now it's even more, auto-spinning, quote-unquote. The Fagnes chicane curbs, those are difficult. The Stavelo curbs, those are difficult. Blanchimon, you don't really want to hit that curb anyway, but especially this exit curb at the bus stop chicane. What can Walking Chaos do? Who was Paul a week ago? He goes at 42.5.
Wow.
8/10 quicker than Swellersteam. That's an incredible lap so far.
Yeah, just jumping through. Silkweaver is going to be the next person coming through in Sector 3 on the mediums, coming through the final fast left-hander into the bus stop chicane. Braking about right where the curb starts on your left-hand side, about 75 meters. And he's going to go P5 with a 44.2. I cannot speak as Wraith is purple Sector 2.
Yes, he is, and Heatwave beats out Swiftweaver by about 57 hundredths of a second. So we see how that plays out with those 2 drivers, remember, on the medium compounded tire, and with a lot of the guys so far yet to set a time. A lot of them choosing the medium, though, including this man, Wraith, around the final corner of the bus stop chicane. He's trailing in the championship. He wants to close back that gap. He goes up to P3. What a lap ahead of Mozzie. Wow. That's 3/10 adrift to Swellerstein, and his time exactly is a 1:43.641. That's pretty close, especially on the medium compound tire. Wraith looking quick.
Yeah, you know, Swellerstein is also, he's on a that lap, but I'm just checking my phone, making sure my audio is included in the party, or for the stream, I should say. Sweller's on an outlap moment. Mozzie is going up the hill, Rowdy on Eau Rouge. Keep it nice and flat. He's going to hit the DRS onto the camel. Straight he goes.
Well, this corner, it's going to be difficult, but it's going to be one of the most overtaking, I guess, sensitive corners on the circuit. Last night, there was a lot of overtakes down that Camel Straight, down into Lecombe. And, well, ironically, you have a tale of two tails. I kind of butchered that one. But you have on one end, the Tier 3 end. You have an Alfa Romeo trying to overtake a Mercedes. The Mercedes prevailed on the inside. You can defend into Lecombe. Then you have the other side of that argument. And ironically, Redeemer was the one trying to overtake a Mercedes and went around the outside and got it. It's two different tales of that corner. You could defend into Lecombe, and it could work out to your favor. But you can also overtake in both the inside and the outside, and it could work out as well. But you have to be careful that it has working with space. The car you're trying to overtake or is going to be overtaken needs to actually give the driver enough space, or you could have a contact like in Tier 3, ironically with another Alfa Romeo and Mercedes. Looks like it's just a pairing of those cars. Unfortunately, the Mercedes are not here tonight, but it could go either really well for a driver or really poorly. We'll see how it goes out for Mozzie in the Alfa Romeo. He right now P4. He's about 1.3 seconds off a pole position. Can he grab that? 43.9. He now goes at 43.6. Jumps Wraith by about 31 milliseconds.
Yeah, another thing also from last night, Stoltz is coming into the bus chicane. Don't worry about it. I'm not forgetting about you. Coming around the final bus stop chicane corner, and he's going to go to the line. He's going to go P5, two-lap-old mediums. Yeah, another thing back to the Tier 2 race, you know, we saw it, you know, with, as you said, you know, I went around the outside of a Mercedes. But also, Bald Guy and the two Red Bulls going at it through Lecon, and it didn't work out for Bald Guy, or for one of the Red Bulls, sorry, as Solarstream is coming through, and he's going to go into the pits. Yes, you know, like you were saying, it works out for some people, and it doesn't work out for others. You know, it all depends on how good of a run you get up through Radion and Eau Rouge on the car ahead of you that you're chasing. And if you get a better run on them through that section of corners, and you're right there with them, it's pretty much an easy move, in my opinion.
In theory, yes, it is, but you could also have a little bit of a trouble going through that complex of Eau Rouge and Ready on the top of the hill, and especially we saw it multiple times, including in both races so far. Actually, I believe in all four we've seen so far this weekend, with a couple of names, a couple of drivers retiring at the top of Radion, and Wraith has retired, I believe, in the pit lane. He's going to lock in his selection on the medium compound tire, so far P4, but you can either have a really good run, like we've been talking about, through Eau Rouge and Radion, and down the Camel Straight with the slipstream, the ERS, and the DRS, and make a move into the Lecombe complex. But it also could go very wrong. It just depends. A lot of these drivers are going to have to make the most of where they are. Track position is crucial because sometimes you can't actually defend from position. I mean, look at a lot of drivers so far through the numerous tiers we've had this weekend. Overtaking is not difficult, but it's not necessarily easy either.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I messed up last night myself. Trying to get back to the pits as Heatwave goes very wide in the final corner. Trying to get the best run up into turn 1. But, you know, I started P10 and then there was a safety car and then everybody just slowed down ahead of me and it was just utter chaos from there. And then the second safety car came out and it ruined my strategy. Excuse me, to a certain extent, but I said, you know, we're going to make it work for me, and then put on the softs, and I just ran away with it. And, you know, it all depends. You know, if you're having a good race, and you don't have any mistakes, and, you know you got the pace to potentially get podium, just push, keep your head down, push. You know, it's easy. If you think you can do it, and you know you can do it, Heatwave's just going to invalidate there. then go do it.
Yes, that is indeed what the mindset's going to be for a lot of these drivers. Is you got to play smart. You can't just overtake when you feel like it, because sometimes the strategy game, both on track and from overtaking standpoint, is important. Chucky Snags going to start his flying lap in a few seconds' time. He's going through Blanchimont, trying to warm his medium compounded tires up in the Williams, and also Silkweaver is on an out lap as well, going to look for an improvement. So far, Killer F1 has yet to come out of the pits and yet to set a time. We've lost No Limit and Groggy Oregano, both from the session, retiring, and BRL Wraith retires in the pit lane. That's the best he can do. 2 minutes, 24 seconds to go. Pits are going to be either really active or barren. You have to go out around now. I see one driver leaving the pit lane. That may be a Haas.
Three drivers.
Chaos.
Both Alfa Romeos and the Haas.
There you go. Both 1, 2, and 3. Heatwave's on another flyer. Chunky Snacks is going to start one. Killer F1 has yet to leave the pits, and he may actually cut it close here.
Yeah, he's leaving the pits
leaving
as
now.
we speak, as Chunky is going up the hill. Looked a little bit wobbly. Looked like the rear end just didn't want to stay because he was going up the hill through Rédillon and Eau Rouge. Coming into the braking zone. Don't touch that curb on the right-hand side, as that will ruin your race.
Going into Ravage. This is going to be another corner to kind of take with caution in the race, especially if you're following a driver in front. And this is going to be a
just
great
come
corner.
back into the pits, and he is retired.
So that's the best he can do in the Alpha Tauri. But these guys behind, Chucky Snacks are trying to get a little bit of a move on. Chucky is on a lap. The guy behind him, the Haas, Walking Chaos, is trying to get to the line. He has 1 minute and 15 seconds. That's plenty of time behind him. He has an Alfa Romeo. We'll see how those guys play out. Right now, they're on a soft compounded tire.
Slowed down.
Trying to make space. I believe actually Alfa Romeo overtook him. Was that Solar Steam or Mozzie?
That was Sweller Steam. Oh, Chunky's just going to go a little bit wide on the exit there, and he had a lift. That's going to compromise him.
Realistically, if he sets a time, he should be, I mean, obviously he's going to be around 8th position. Battle between him and Groggy. Final laps coming in now. 40 seconds left to go. Chucky Snacks going through the bus-stop chicane to set his time on the medium compounded tire in 9th. Where does that put him? P8. But now behind him, the fast times are going to start rolling down. Walking Chaos is going to start his lap in a couple seconds' time. Swiller Steam.
Quiver is spun where his teammate just did.
And he scouted the session too.
Wow. Crack?
You know what? For legal reasons, I'm going to say no. Walking Chaos is going to start his flying lap too. Both McLarens crashed out in the entry of Ravage. Killer's on a flying lap on the medium compounded tire. Chucky Snags, I believe, set his, unless he's going to fuel for one more. He's on the mediums as well. It's going to be these top three. Chaos, Sweller, and Mozzie. Checker flag flies. Stoneless is done. Who gets pole?
Sweller Steam with the purple sector 1, but he was only up by 0.7 of a second.
He needs a lot more than that. He needs 8/10 to get past the Haas of Walking Chaos.
Chaos is 0.03 of a second down on his time. Through No Name goes down the hill into Pouan. A little bit of braking, downshift into 6.
They may compromise him. Half the sector to go. Yellow flag. Looks like Chunky Snacks getting out of the way of Killer F1.
Sweller's 7/10 up on his time. Mozzie, his teammate, through sector 2, as invalidated, was 4/10 up on his time.
It's going to be an all-out fight. Can
Walking
Sweller
Chaos
get
is
there?
up 2/10 on his time through the second sector.
Is it going to be enough? Chaos is up on his time. Sweller is absolutely flying. Is it going to be enough for pole position for the Alfa Romeo? Well, let's see how he can do it. He's leading the championship. Is he going to start from pole? He does by about 1/10 of a second at 42.3. Can Chaos beat it? The bus stop chicane. He was on pole a week ago in Budapest. Can he do it again at Spa? He can by about 1/10 and a half of 42.2. Wow. Chaos on pole ahead of both Alfa Romeos. Wraith in 4th, Toneless 5th. A week ago in Budapest, it was a little iffy in quality. do a lobby restart. Well, this time Chaos got it from the entire session. Chaos on pole once again, second in a row. He did it at Budapest. He'll do it again in Stavilo. That's Weller's team. And Alfa Romeo's Mozzie right now second and third. He's going to have to chase after the Haas. Can the teammates do it? They're leading the Constructors' Championship. Sweller leading the drivers. Wraith, his championship rival, in fourth. Toneless fifth. Heatwave in sixth. Silkweaver, Chunky Stacks, Rugged Oregano, Killer F1, and No Limit round out the grid. Everyone except for the top three on the mediums. What will Killer and No Limit do? They have completely free choice of tire. It's going to be fun.
You're gonna place any bets on who the podium's gonna be this week?
Good question.
Hey, chat, I'm gonna ask you the same question. Podium predictions.
There you go. Who do you think will be on the podium? Who do you think will grab the fastest lap? Who do you think will be the driver of the day? All of that can put down in the comment section below of the stream. It's time to see the Belgian Grand Prix. And like I said, top three, Chaos, Sweller, and Mozzie, all on the soft compounded tires, the C4s. Wraith on back. On the medium, Killer has selected the medium. Does No Limit stay on the soft compounded tire he has right now in 11th position, or will he get a medium compounded tire? Killer and No Limit have completely fresh and free choice of tire since they didn't set laps in the qualifying session.
Is it just me, or is Mozzie's car bouncing up and down viciously on the grid for you as well?
That's everyone for me, to be fair.
Well, it was more Mozzie than it was everyone else for me, because his car was going absurdly up and down. Like, the suspension was getting his pre-workout.
BRL after dark is what's happening on the grid over there.
It's a PG channel, guys. Come on, let's go.
That's why I said after dark, you know?
After dark. After hours! 50% promo deal.
What do you count after hours of a 10 o'clock? I guess right now 8 o'clock. I don't know. What do you count after hours? Midnight?
After the race is over, so probably like 9:30. I guess.
Well,
I don't really know.
Then you have tier 1.
Well,
yeah,
tier 1
that's
doesn't
good
count
point.
because this is tier 2.
Yeah, but I said BRL after hours. I didn't specify
okay.
tiers.
So, yeah, then probably like 1 o'clock.
1 in the morning, but right now we're here at 8 p.m. trying to figure out the podiums and the finishing order for the Belgian Grand Prix. The formation lap's underway, and let's go through it. Chaos once again on pole like he was a week ago. He had quite an iffy race, an up and down race to be more precise, a week ago at Budapest. He was leading and then got a puncture and had to fight back and led again to the win. Can he do it again? Hopefully, it's not going to be as crazy for him. Well, he has to fight off Swellerstein, the championship leader. He wants to try to extend that gap on Wraith in fourth. He's going to have his teammate Mozzie as a buffer. Alfa Romeo right now running away with the championship, the constructors and the drivers. Can they hold that up at the halfway point tonight? BRL race, he's going to be the first one on the medium compounded tires. Everyone has chosen the C3s except for the top three. Well, regardless, it's going to be a one-stop, either from medium to soft or medium to hard, as you can see the predicted pit stop strategy below. Or you can do the opposite, from soft to medium or soft to hard. We'll see how these guys play off, because the majority on the grid are doing the alternate strategy. Wraith needs to gain positions and points on that man in second. Swellerstein, but Toneless is going to try to do the best he can in the Ferrari. He got a points finish in, I believe, 6th position it was a week ago. He wants to try to go one better. Right now he has gone one better in 5th in qualifying so far. Heatwave, he's going to try to do the best he can now. He's on the grid again, like you said. Good to have him back. I believe he had, an ankle injury a week ago, I believe. It's a personal issue,
yes,
to say the least. Yes, it was something like
injury.
that. There you go. We're glad he's back. And he's going to see what he can do in the Belgian Grand Prix. Silkweaver is going to be behind him.
He's crucially on those mediums every week.
That is true. That is true.
I'm going to throw this out there. A couple guys to keep your eyes on at the back of the grid. You know, Silkweaver, we know he has pace in P7. And then the two other ones is going to be Killer, F1, and No Limit. We know No Limit has started at the back. I believe it was Budapest last week, and he was in P9 by lap 3, I think it was.
Something like that.
But yeah, like those are my 3 guys to keep your eyes on for tonight.
Out to see, as well as Killer. Don't forget him and the Red Bull.
To be
As
fair,
they all go.
I did say Killer before No Limit, so.
you know,
As
I
those
have
guys are
selected
just
for them.
having a car sandwich, Groggy, Killer, No Limit, and Chunky Snags.
That is the, I guess you could say the 2026 Formula One regulations.
I thought you were about ready to say it was after hours, boys. Come on.
Well, No Limit goes to put his McLaren on the 11th spot of the grid, and we go from his McLaren at 11th to Walking Chaos's Haas at first. 22 laps of the Belgian Grand Prix, round 12, halfway point. Who wins it? And it's lights out, and away we go for Belgium. And look at the start from the Alfa Romeo, but Chaos gets a great start and covers off the Alfa Romeo of the other team already. Down in the turn one, Lesos is going to be Chaos, head of steam ahead of Mozzie. Toneless looking down the inside of the Red Bull of Wraith. He's going to fight right. Running wide is going to be the Williams. I believe that's Chucky Snags. Now going up to Rouge and Radiant for the first time. It's going to be the Haas to Alfa Romeo side by side in the back. That's going to be Killer and I believe the Williams and Chucky Snags. Chucky backs out of that. It's going to be so far so good in the first couple of corners, but Silkweaver's going to make a move. So far he's looking for it on his teammate No Limit. No Limit's up to 7th already. You said to look out for him. He's now looking for the move on Heatwave going down to Lake Combe for the first time. Killer and Groggy Oregano side by side down into Lake Combe and down the inside. Killer goes. He's up to 10th. I'm sorry, he's up to 9th from 10th.
Yeah, the top 3 didn't move. The top 5, actually, 6 rather, actually didn't move. The 7th down that was just juggling positions. Actually, no, sorry. Toneless did move up 1 position, so the top 4 didn't move at all.
The top 6 didn't move.
I thought Toneless was
Look at the position
6.
gain right now. Nope. That's the position gains right now. Everyone in the top 6 has not moved. No Limits up 4 positions from last to 7th. We said look out for him. Look at him in 7th. He's already making that charge. Silkweaver down 1 to 8th. Killer up 1 to 9th. Groggy down 1 and Chunky down 3. Running wide at Le Source and kind of backing out of it into the run into Eau Rouge and Radion. But now 1 lap almost done. We're going to the Blanchimont. Killer has a little bit of, I guess, ground to make up. 5/10 on Silkweaver. He's looking for a move on a teammate in a couple seconds' time. But look at the gap between first and second. 6/10 of a second. About 1 second to Mozzie. You need to be within that 1 second to get the DRS, the drag reduction system on the car in front, to get that little bit of extra horsepower and straight line speed, especially down the Keppel Straight and this straight source. A little bit of a wobble between Toneless Death. Walking Chaos. It's the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Does that invite Heatwave into the move? And Lois Source, he's about a second away. Toneless from Wraith. No, it's not. A little bit too far back. But now it's plenty of time to go. 1 lap down. 21 to go.
I just kind of watching
No
the
Limit.
front.
He's really close to the back of him.
Just kind of watching the front 4 at the moment.
Who has a better run? Heatwave down up the, I guess, the exit of Radion with a great run. Can he get down to Toneless? Looks too far back. But look at this. No Limit closing in on the Alpha Tower. Not too far back into Lecombe. Not this time.
Another thing, too, this track presents is
Oh!
Chunky Snags and Groggy. That is just Groggy.
Groggy around.
What do you think got on that curb at the end of the Camel Straight? There it goes
Oh,
again.
he spun again. Keeps out of the barriers for the most part. Hits it with his rear wing. That may be a little bit of damage, but so far so good for the Alpine. He can keep going. He may have had help. Not sure. We'll have to see if that goes out to his steward inquiry or was it on his own. But that curb is definitely can come out to hide you. He's going through, I believe, Ravage, and that'd be another spin. His tires are overheated, and his race is already not really what he wants. Chaos, 0.8 of a second, almost out of the DRS range already. That's crucial. Can he get there? He does have a second. Flowstein needs to make sure he's within that gap.
Yeah, you know, this is going to be all to play for with Wraith and the mediums, or on the mediums rather still. AP4 is just hunting down Mozzie still and kicking a gap to as Silkweaver and Killer go at it. Killer's just going to send it up the inside.
Wow.
And he's going to get the... Whoa! Silkweaver's going to get a little bit wiggly out of the exit. And No Limit's going to
Yes, enabled. Oh!
on the inside.
I thought that was contact.
Ambitious.
I don't think it was. It was ambitious indeed, but now DRS is enabled. Heatwave has a 7/10 gap to Toneless. He's going to grab the DRS, but who has the better run between him and No Limit behind him? He's closer. The Swellerstein make for a move.
Yeah, but
Not this time.
Heatwave
Heatwave's
is
closing
in on Toneless, and he's just dragging No Limit with him.
No one moves yet. No Limit's all in the back of Heatwave, though, looking for this move for the McLaren to get up to 6th.
Swellerstein was able to close down 4/10 of a gap to P1.
Yes, he has.
Oh,
It'll be
no
crucial if he
limit.
can stay in it. Oh! It's going to give Keeler an incentive to go down to Puon. Can he make this move stick? Still side by side through Puon. Keeler backs out of it, but look at this. Still Cleaver looking for the move. He backs out of it as well.
Yeah, no limit just has
Feisty.
a little bit too much curb love there and just unsettled the car because he's just struggling right now on the curbs.
Running a little bit wide through Stavilo 1. That may give an incentive to Killer, who's actually passed Silk Weaver a couple corners ago. Now he has a chance. He's splitting the McLarens. Can he go up to 7th? Remember, he started down in 10th. Killer started in 10th. No Limit started in 11th. These drivers already up a couple positions already. A pair to be exact. Sweller's team's at our DRS. That's crucial. Wraith is 3/10 back from Mozzie in the Alfa Romeo. If he breaks through, how much does he charge after Sweller's team in chaos in front?
So, Sweller's team right now, he is in the DRS range. He is going to have DRS going down the Camel Straight as he was within that 1 second.
But here's the move to look out for. Mozzie and Wraith. Wraith the DRS. He has the ERS, the Red Bull, the Slipstream, the medium tire to the right-hand side. He'll make it look easy down the Camel Straight and up into 3rd in the podium again to chase down his championship rival. 1.4 seconds in front. Can he do it? The medium versus the soft gang. The Alfa Romeo versus the Red Bull. No moves so far, but Wraith now moves up a position. That's actually the first move in the top 6. The first 3 completed laps. We're now on lap 4 of 22 of the Belgian Grand Prix for the Breakout Racing League Tier 2 Championship, round 12 of 24. We're halfway through. That's after this race. Championship's on, and Killer's looking for a move soon.
Yeah, from 5th down to 9th, it kind of reminds me of IRL with, one of the Ferraris in the top 5, and then an AlphaTauri in P6, and then the McLarens.
The best they can.
Minus the Red Bull, but, that's there, so.
Chucky's dropped back a little bit off of Silk Weaver, 4.4 seconds. The Williams to the McLaren. But how does this gap between No Limit and Killer change? Heatwave's looking closer on Toneless as well. And Wraith is in the DRS of Sweller.
Yeah, and he's
grabs the
go
fastest lap
purple.
for good measure. The battle's on. 3-way fight for first.
Well, Killer went a little bit deep there into turn 1. No Limit is right on the gearbox of Heatwave. They're going to go side by side up Radion and Eau Rouge. They're going to look for it. Oh.
Still side by side.
No Limit backed out of it right in the bottom of the hill as he got pushed off the for the move, though, down the Camel Straight using the ERS, all the Slipstream and the ERS. He's not going to have enough. He's looking for it. Yeah, he's not going to make the move.
Heatwave holds on. Just not enough straight left.
Oh.
McLaren to get back to the AlphaTauri.
Killer's going to look for a move down
look
the
at this.
inside. He's going to get it done. We're going to go through No Name, Albon, Ricardo. And No Limit's just going to get him back.
Great defense. No Limit holds on, but now look at the gap between him and Heatwave in front. 8/10. Can he claw it back?
I was going to say, the battling is just going to hurt these two as they're just letting the guys ahead just trail away as No Limit's going drift mode to the end of the second sector there.
Speaking of getting closer and pulling away the guys in front, look at this battle for second. The mediums are charging, but who else than Wraith? 5/10. Sweller's almost out. He is out of DRS range. He won't get it this time. Will he get it up into Radion and the Camel Straight? Teetering edge. He looks like he's going to get it so far. He will get it.
Yeah, I
Look at
believe
that.
he's going to
Gap.
get it.
Wow.
Wow, look at that. He took 3.5 tenths, almost 4 tenths out of him in that one section.
Yeah, that's really going to save him. He's now going to hold on to second because he's going to grab the DRS from Chaos in front of him. But he's going to hold on. But how close is Wraith going to close?
I think Weller is going to close a lot more than Wraith did, because the gap as Heatwave got past Toneless, and Killer's going to look for a move on the inside of No Limit. They're going to get those moves done and dusted as Killer wants to get these moves made. I cannot English tonight, folks, excuse me. No Limit is going to pick up a time penalty as well. It's only lap 6.
Yes, he is. This penalty is going to be crucial. And one thing to look out for, 64% of the grid a season ago finished with penalties out of the 11 finishers. Sweller around at Puon. And around again, that's not going to be any more beneficial to his race at all. He's not going to come into the pits this time, I would expect. It's now gone from perfect to not so much for the Alfa Romeo Sweller.
Oh, that's gut-wrenching.
It is indeed. He's going to have time to recuperate, though. It's still only lap 6 of 22. He has a long time to go, and we could have possible safety cars, or maybe even a little bit of strategy playing out. But how will it play out so far? Toneless Death and Killer F1, that's going to be close. That's going to be a battle for 5th.
I do want to point out, though, mediums can make it from here.
Yes, they can. .6 seconds to get between Wrath and Chaos. Almost into the back of the Ferrari.
It's going to allow No Limit to get back by him.
Well, now, how will play off up Kemmel Straight and through Radeon. Blinking already the energy harvesting on the McLaren. No Limit indicating he's below 20%, but look at this. Killer's not much better. He's going to have the DRS to run. Pinching him to the left-hand side. A little bit of contact with the Red Bull gets past the McLaren. He's going to go back at him. Not close enough. Still looking. Almost pushing the Honda-powered car going through. They're running the Ravage, moving a little bit, still trying to defend this position, but Killer's going to hold on.
These guys are playing bump cars back here. Oh, again!
His tires are just not really holding up. Looks like they're just wearing a little bit too much, losing the rear end a little bit too much. Running wide, both Killer and No Limit.
Yeah, No Limit just had to get out of the steering input there as he almost went around like Swellerstream did. And like I said, Swellerstream went on to those mediums, so he's good to go at the end if a safety car comes out. Yeah, No Limit is just struggling.
Look at Wraith. He's within not only a second, but he's gained about a second on Chaos this last lap and a half. He's almost 5/10 adrift. Does Chaos come in this time, or does he prolong it about a lap?
Yeah, but look at Killer. Killer is close
out
to Toneless coming into the bus stop. He's going to brake early so he doesn't run into the back of him. Mozzie is in the pits this lap.
Chaos lets Wraith through. He's going to grab the DRS through the Kemmel Straight. That's going to benefit the Haas as Mozzie, the only other driver on the softs, pits this lap. How will the undercut work? When you pit before, Mozzie pitting before Chaos. Well, Chaos is trying to go the overcut and using the DRS of the Red Bull to propel him forward.
Thomas is going to get
forward, he is indeed.
Good run up the hill. Heatwave's not even going to try to defend as Toneless and Killer just basically pushed each other down the straight. And they're battling back there side by side through the corners. Heatwave's going to hold the position. He's going to spin.
Oh, no!
And he is out.
And out of the race. Is that a safety car? Doesn't look like it. The left rear tire off the AlphaTauri, and he's out of the race in lap 8. That's now the third driver so far to crash at the exit of that corner going into Ravage. No safety car.
Off the top of my head, I don't think anyone crashed there in Tier 4. Or as Walking Chaos is going to get a penalty.
A 3-second time penalty. That could be crucial.
Yeah, No Limit is just struggling right now on these mediums. Just the rear, he's letting him up way too much on the curbs. It's hurting his teammates sitting behind him as well.
Both of them in the DRS train, led by Toneless Death and third in the Ferrari. Killer F1 wants to desperately get past him.
And Chaos, crucially, is doing another lap, so this might end up coming to hurt him.
Possibly.
As
This is now what, a 2-lap overcut.
Gap. Yeah, Mozzie's, I believe it's a 20-second pit window here, and Mozzie is just under 19 seconds.
Killer is almost out of ERS, but he has the DRS this time with the Ferrari. Does he hold on?
Yeah, Thomas is almost out of ERS as well. He's going to look down the inside of the Camel Straight. He's going to hit the curb. He's going to keep it nice and clean. Whoa, No Limit.
Almost contact between him and No Limit. Killer goes defensive. And a Ravage almost pushing the Red Bull. There's a little bit of contact. And gun to the inside after running wide. It's going to be Killer. No Limit up to 4th. These drivers are not letting it rest.
Walking Chaos has the puncture again.
Chaos has a puncture again. It has happened for the 2nd race in a row for the Haas. What has happened again?
No Limit is looking for the move on Toneless.
This is not going to help him at all.
Whoa, No Limit's going to run wide.
This is going to help Mozzie tremendously, by the way.
Yeah, just go on board and just look at the weird tires on Walking Chaos's Haas. They're not in the greatest of shape right now, yeah.
Well, this is actually a difficult pit lane to get into with all 4 wheels on your car, much less 3. Almost hits the barrier, but he's going to be in the pit lane.
It reminds me of
tire.
Fernando Alonso back in 2017, I think it was.
Yes, it was. Actually, 2018.
Was it? Yeah, I know he had to double puncture.
Yes, that was 2018.
No, he's going to look for a move on Tolmas. Back to the action. Tolmas is going to be hanging on the right-hand side of the circuit. It's not going to matter. No Limit. He's going to look on the left. He's going to have to DRS. He's going to look for the move as well. He's going to back out of it. Tolmas is going to hit the curb. No Limit's going to get the move done up into P2.
And he's actually moved up as Toneless lets Killer by.
Killer and Sweller by.
Yes.
Maybe strategy call?
Possibly.
I actually just realized we don't have either Aston Martin driver here tonight.
No, we do not. Master Plane and Bot Sturble. Big mover once again. Up 9 positions from last to 2nd so far for No Limit. Absolutely flying. And actually, take a look at this. Behind both, not 1, but 2 Alfa Romeos. He's behind Sweller as well. And the big issue with that is he's 11 seconds off of Mozzie.
Yeah, it's really gut-wrenching, you know, back-to-back races where you push the softs so much and then you just get a podium. Or puncture, rather.
Silkweaver into the pits.
Silkweaver is going to go to the pits.
I'm looking for the hard compounded tire, the C3. I'm sorry, the C2s.
Oh, it's for
go on that McLaren.
It's for softs.
Softs? It could possibly work.
It'll be a stretch. They'll make it.
12 laps. I don't know. So remember, Walking Chaos
back
had
to the action.
10.
Killer is on the back of No Limit. Both of these drivers are out of ERS. No Limit is trying to break the slipstream. He's going to break late. He's going to cut him off into the corners. No Limit's just going to get all bent out of shape. That is another thing about this circuit. If you mess up one corner, Mozzie's going to get the move done on Junkie Snags. If you mess up one corner, it's going to take you 3 corners to recuperate and get that time back and the speed back. This Chaos is going to look for a move on Sweller's team.
These 2 battling for provisionally P4 and P3. Sweller, blue and right exit. Killer pass, No Limit. No Limit's around it, Puon. Down the inside, it's going to be Chaos and Sweller. Side by side, on the curb, around the outside, and he's going to make the move stick. Chaos ahead of Sweller. What happened to No Limit?
I was not on board. wondering if he has wing damage. That car's front end is just not handling the way it should be. But now it is a Red Bull 1-2.
Killer 10 seconds behind Wraith, both on the medium tire. When do they stop? Does No Limit pit this time? Yes, he does.
This might be... Whoa!
That was close.
This might be for a wing change as well, so he might get held up a little bit more. And it is not for a wing change.
Softs. Following his teammate's strategy, Silkweaver, who now passes him and overtakes him up into 6th. The McLaren's now chasing after. Chunky snags. Walking Chaos is the fastest lap at 45.8. As Chaos gets ahead, same with Sweller's team. They now chase after Silkweaver and the McLaren. And No Limit and Silkweaver actually, Sweller are going to have a little bit of a tussle on the exit of the pit lane down into Rouge and Radion.
Well, this is actually going to help Sweller's team if he can stick with Chaos and just have Chaos drag him along with the DRS. Sweller can get actually a good position out of this race.
That is true, but he also has No Limit behind him, and No Limit has definitely shown he wants to overtake. And with those softs, he's going aggressive. How much does he stay behind?
Silkweaver's going to pick up a penalty, you know. Like you were saying, last season...
Here comes No Limit. Sorry to cut you off, but down the inside of Puon, around the... Radion is going to be groggy around. No Limit past Sweller. All right, go ahead.
Penalties, you know, they're going to be a big thing, as we saw in Tier 4 last night. You know, I believe it was the top 5, as Chunky's going to get really slow on the exit of that corner, and Silkweaver's going to get by him. Penalties are a crucial thing, as we saw last night. The top 5 in Tier 4, I believe 3 out of the 5 drivers all had penalties in that race. So this could come down to who has penalties and who doesn't.
Same thing could be said about Tier 3. Silkweaver sets the fastest lap at 45.3. There's only 3 drivers in that race that didn't.
Oh, Chaos is around.
Oh!
And he does not have a front wing.
And that's going to hurt him because he's already passed the pit lane. He's going to have to take the 7-kilometer circuit with no front wing. Wow. This race is just not tuned out the way that Chaos wanted. He had an up and down race a week ago at Budapest, but disregarding the puncture, he still had an excellent race. Led a majority, if not the most laps of that race, ended up coming home victorious. So far, the puncture knocks off again. Now that box is checked, but this time he lost his front wing. And that turn is going to cut over through Lecombe. It's going to be difficult for him to get back. Almost halfway. I think we actually are halfway. 12 down, 22 laps to go. Killer grabs a 3-second time penalty. That's going to hurt him in his battle with Toneless. They gap about 2.1 seconds or so between the Red Bull and the Ferrari. No Limit gets a 3-second time penalty, and Wraith is in. Here, I got you. So Wraith is in, Killer is in. Soft compound for Wraith, soft compound for Killer. He doesn't get held up, and Toneless comes in as well. Silkweaver's going to jump the Ferrari, the Red Bull. Does he get past Wraith? No, he doesn't. He comes out. Wraith is about 4 seconds ahead of Mozzie. No Limit fastest lap, 45.3. It is now Wraith ahead of Mozzie, ahead of Silkweaver, ahead of No Limit. Sweller behind, but look, here comes Killer on the first softs. Sweller gets past him, but now he splits the 2 Ferrari-powered cars. Killer does. But Sweller's team is going to be in a world of trouble. Junkie Snags to the pit lane. Walking Chaos to the pit lane. Everyone pits this lap, basically, except for Groggy Regano and Sweller's team. And here comes Killer to the left-hand side down the Kemmel Straight. He's going to grab past the Alfa Romeo and up into 5th. That move was relatively easy compared to the ones he's had to make so far this race. Red Bull is absolutely licking their chops here. Wraith in first. He's going to grab 25 points, barring the fastest lap. And at the moment, that sits to No Limit in P4, 45.3. But look at the gap between him and his teammate, Silkweaver, 45.385. We could possibly see Wraith grab 26 points here. 25 plus the fastest lap. See how that plays out. But right now, Sweller's team's going to lose a significant amount of points. 8 to be exact. Right now, it's going to be a 17-point gap that Wraith is going to gain. And it's going to be around 5 to 6 points as it stands going in to Holland a week from now. The Netherlands. Oh, contact, he fights back. These two have been battling all race long, and that move, I think, was the easiest between the both. Almost hits the back of the Red Bull. Wow. Not letting it go. Groggy's in the pits as well. These two trying to chase down Silkweaver. About 4.3 seconds or so, the gap between him and the McLaren. And No Limit grabs another time penalty. That is going to be detrimental. They can't hear you. They can't hear you. Check your box. All right, let's try again. Silkweaver looking for the move on Mozzie. Groggy, 3-second time penalty. 50% of the grid. 64 was a year ago. Or a season ago, more specifically. Here comes Silkweaver on Mozzie. Mozzie doesn't have the DRS. Silkweaver has the DRS. The slipstream, he has the DRS. He's not using it this time. The McLaren closing in on the Alfa Romeo. To the right-hand side he goes. And do they come? And a lot deeper on the brakes to the Alfa Romeo. And now we go back to 4th and 5th. Killer and No Limit fighting again. Contact between the two. Almost reminiscent of what we saw in Tier 3. Off the track and back on. No Limit's going to grab the position, but for how much longer? Almost into the back of the McLaren. These two are trading positions and almost trading paint. They're not done yet. No, they can't. What? What? Uh-huh. You sure? I'm sensing a little bit of sass from you, Redeemer. Huh? I cannot confirm or deny that statement. Chaos has a 3-second time penalty. There you go. Oh! That's cheeky from No Limit. He's going to try to go again. Groggy Oregano. He's around. Virtual safety car. He's lost an entire front wing and the exit and the run into Ravage. That's now the, what? Second driver this session. Fourth driver this Grand Prix. that has crashed in the exit of that corner there. And that right there actually saves Killer, because No Limit's not going to get DRS, and I believe that's his whole purpose there. He let him through on the straightaway to make sure he got DRS down the Camel Straight to defend his position. Apparently they still can't hear you.
Okay. My box was checked and then it wasn't checked, so thank you, Twitch.
Good.
Xbox. Goated. Love it. Hate you. Yeah. Oh, I know. I see your DM. You can't hear me. You don't need to hear me anyways.
Pain.
Anyways.
Lap 17 or 22.
Smaller Street
About
is just
6 laps to go.
left. That's not good.
Who? Who left?
Smaller.
Oh, that's not good at all.
Don't worry. That's the co-commentator. I did invite him back.
You already understand your job better than half the people I've worked with. Congratulations.
It's not my first rodeo. I've been here before.
You know, I could say it. Ritzy, I'm looking at you. And Taylor.
Just get a picture of Raccoon.
Echo,
like,
you good? Echo's good.
I just see like a pic. Like, I just see you just sitting there with your monitor. And you just get a picture of Raccoon, and you just have Ritzy's name written. And I'd be like, I'm looking at you, boy.
Looking at you.
Watching you. This No Limit is out of ERS, chasing down Killer, going down the Camel Straight.
Yes, he is. Those penalties, we'll look back on those again. 9 seconds to No Limit. 6 to Chaos. 3 for Killer, Sweller, and Groggy.
Thomas could potentially move up to P4 if he stays where he is.
That is true. Same with Sweller. He actually may move up to 7th if he can get back in the lobby. He may move up to 6th.
I did invite him, so I don't know.
Hey, boy, I didn't say your name. You're fine.
I'll throw him another
Looks around nervously.
invite, just to be safe.
Running wide at the exit of the Fenya chicane. That's going to get him out of DRS range of Killer. And another time penalty as well. This may actually start getting in chunky snags a little bit. This continues up.
I'll just look at the ERS levels between Killer and No Limit, as No Limit is just left.
3% and 2% respectively.
Sorry, Killer is just left No Limit in the dust.
Yes, he has. About 1.4 seconds to gap between him and the McLaren. About, what, 4 laps to go. We've completed 18. We still have 4 more. 19 to 22 at the Belgian Grand Prix. No Limit's almost losing the car, and we've lost the interval.
Sweller Stream is back in his car. That is good to see.
Yes, it is. So
I will point this out, Katja. There is no safety cars or VSEs anymore.
There you go. So now it's going to be on track, regardless of the outcome. Closing in, we still have a little bit of delta now. We got from Chaos. As he coast, I believe, across the start-finish line. We'll have to wait and see the gap between these drivers now. You see Wraith going through Stavelo 2. The McLaren of Silkweaver going through the Fenya chicane. Behind him, you have Mozzie closing in and caught and reeled in by the Red Bull of Killer, looking for that podium, a double Red Bull podium, but Mozzie has no penalties. Killer does.
I'm wondering if that's a 10-second gap between Wraith and Silkweaver.
We'll find out in a couple seconds' time, as Silkweaver's about to cross the start-finish line.
I'll bet you a penny on it.
That's not very, you know, confident. 11.0.
That was close.
Well, you lost your penny.
Oh,
7 tenths between Mozzie and Killer. 8/10 between Toneless and No Limit. He's looking for the move in a couple seconds' time. Oh, Mozzie! Almost lost the car. Killer's going to get ahead of him. Side by side, almost into the run in the Radeon.
Yeah, but crucially, Killer is not going to have the DRS. It's going to be with Mozzie.
Yes, it is. He's going to have the DRS as well, and the ERS, and the slipstream. The left-hand side, the Alfa Romeo goes. He doesn't need to fight this, but he wants to, and it's going to be a really easy move between him and Killer F1. Toneless is going to be the next one to look out for. He's a little bit too far back on the McLaren of No Limit this time, but remember, No Limit has, I guess, a deficit of ERS compared to Toneless, about a 12% deficit. Running wide again in the exit, and they're running to Ravage now, Groggy Oregano. A 3-second time penalty applied to the end of his race time. That brings us total to 6.
So,
running wide through Ravage.
I want to point this out. Silkweaver has a 3-second time penalty, and the gap to Mozzie behind is 3.7. As who's around, that is...
No Limit.
No, that was,
And Puon.
Was it? I thought it was, Silkweaver for a second. My bad.
No, it's not. Toneless gets past the McLaren. And now there's a 6-second gap. Almost second. Now a 7-second gap between Toneless and Killer. And they're going to fight at it here. Down in the run of the Blanchimont. Side by side, the McLaren and the Ferrari. Almost contact made. No Limit gets past Toneless.
Oh, No Limit had to lift off the gas.
Still fighting at it. Toneless into the pits. He's going to try for fastest lap. Killer on Mozzie. It's going to happen again. Killer has 25% ERS. He's using it now.
Alright, see if he gets a better run going up the hill. When Killer's on the button, as soon as he gets to the top of the hill, Killer's going to look for this move. He's going to go to the right-hand side at the very last second he can.
Clean around him. That was an easy move. Now Mozzie just needs to stay within 3 seconds of this Red Bull, and he'll grab a podium.
Sweller is also looking in threat for a good point stall as well.
Yes, he is. That's going to be a great recovery drive from him. Remember, a couple of laps ago, he was looking down to get 7th, maybe 8th, running wide through through Ravage into No Name. No Limit under pressure from the Alfa Romeo Sweller as his tire's gone. Down into Puon. Running a bit wide. No Limit's going to go shallow for Sweller's team. Into the Fania chicane. McLaren of No Limit holds on.
Yeah,
almost loses the car again. He's struggling, the McLaren.
Oh, he's gonna run wide again.
Side by side of the Blanchimont, they'll go. No Limit stays ahead, though.
Oh, a little bit of contact. No Limit's gonna get another penalty.
Into the bus up chicane. Trying to look for the switchback. Sweller seems to have the DRS. Almost loses the car through the bus stop chicane exit. He's going to run up, but we now are on the penultimate and now the final lap of the Grand Prix. Wraith grabs a 3-second time penalty, but he has 15-second gap to Silkweaver.
That don't even matter, really. Mozzie could potentially be looking at P2 in this race. Regardless, he's going to be on the penalty as long as he stays within that penalty or that time. As Sweller is going to get past No Limit.
We now go from the battle for 5th position with Sweller and No Limit to the leader. Going to the Savalo. 1 and 2 for the final time. Going into this race was 21 points back from Sweller's team. At the moment, he'll grab 25. Sweller's team will grab 10. That'll be a 15-point gain and 6 points. Going into Holland, No Limit's around, but it's been 1, 2, 3, 4, and now 5 wins for Wraith as he comes across the line. He has won the Belgian Grand Prix and he beats Max Verstappen. 16.2 seconds. The gap over Silkweaver.
But keeping our eye on this gap between Silkweaver, Mozzie, and Killer. Mozzie's
will grab
going
the
to
podium
get P3.
by 1.2 seconds.
Smaller strain P5. What a great recovery drive from him.
What could have been for No Limit, and does Toneless grab the fastest lap? Remember, he's charging for that. He's within that penalty gap from No Limit too. Chunky Snack slows across the line. He'll jump ahead of the McLaren of No Limit. Toneless Death, did he grab the fastest lap?
He did
He
not.
does not.
What about Walking Chaos? Walking Chaos is also on new softs.
Does Chaos get it? Wraith grabbed the fastest lap. He'll have 26 points. He'll actually gain by about 16, meaning his gap's going to be 5 into Holland a week from now. But that's if this man, Walking Chaos, who could have won this Grand Prix, doesn't take it off of him. Right now it's a 43.6. Can Chaos get it?
And he does.
He does, 43.6.
Who's still Silkweaver was driver of the day?
$12 rounds down, 12 more still to go, and the championship is still wide open. 6 points is going to be the gap between Swellersteam and this man, BRL Wraith, going into Netherlands a week from now. And what a race it's going to be. The last time we went to the Netherlands in Tier 2, we had a photo finish. Can we see it again? But this man, Wraith, will win the Belgian Grand Prix. First time since Canada. Wraith makes it 5 wins on the season, and now he's 6 points closer to that championship. Actually, I'm sorry, 15 points closer to that championship lead. Now the gap being 6 points. Well, Silkweaver is going to grab P2, and that's his first podium since Bahrain about 10 or 11 rounds ago. Mozzie grabs a podium for Alfa Romeo. Their strong charge, once again, is going to be halted a bit by the charge of Red Bull. Killer in 4th, Swellerstein 5th, Chunky Snack 6th, Toneless Death in 7th, no Limit in 8th. What a start he's had. Unfortunately, he's got 11th. Walking Chaos once again, an up and down race. This time he couldn't recover for that win he did at Budapest a week ago. He now finishes 9th. Gargi Regano rounds out the top 10 with We Lost TTM Heatwave and the exit and run into the Ravage of the Belgian Grand Prix.
As we wait to load back into the lobby so that way Catcher can go into the showroom. I believe we have everybody except for Mozzie. We are waiting for, so I will ping him really quickly. And you're already ahead of that.
It's not my first rodeo.
Wow.
One second time till we get the Alfa Romeo Mozzie into the commentary booth, and we'll start the podium interviews for round 12 of the Breakout Racing League Tier 2 Championship in the Belgian Grand Prix. And it'll be Redeemer taking it away with the driver of the day and P2 finisher and the P3 finisher, with ironically the P2 and the driver of the day being the same person. So have fun with that. Redeemer, there you go. Mozzie and Wraith So quick, make sure you have all your boxes clicked in to the top of the party whenever we come to you. But right now, I give it away to Redeemer. Take it away.
Yeah, I'm going to start off with Mozzie. P3, another alpha on the podium, keeping the streak alive. Great job in qualifying. It must have been intimidating for you, your teammate, and Walking Chaos being on softs, and the rest of the grid behind you on mediums. And then, having the race just relaxed, and then you're just doing your own thing, walk us through it, and congratulations. As Mozzie is apparently not here at the moment, so we will jump to Silkweaver in P2. Silkweaver, congratulations. I know it's been a while since you've been on the podium, and been a while since I've actually seen you in a race, I believe, if my memory serves me right. See here. There's Mozzie.
Yay,
Silkweaver, we will return to you. Mozzie, congratulations on P3 and another Alpha podium. Walk us through your race, and were you just trying to keep it on the circuit in the last few remaining laps?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I don't know what to say really. Qualifying was good. The top two were miles ahead, and then everyone on the mediums behind us, so I just needed to get a good start and try and keep in front of them. My teammate had a spin or an incident, so I got in front of him and boxed for mediums and just tried to get it to the end and keep it on track. But yeah, that's my first podium ever, so happy with that. Congrats to Rafe, Red Bull, they had a good day, and yeah, Alpha, we went alright.
Yeah, really well managed by you, and another great point haul for your team. You P3, and I believe Swallow with P5. Got Zandvoort next week or Holland. Any emotion, or is that a strong track for you, or what are you looking forward to next week?
Heaps of emotion at the moment. Yeah, looking forward to it. I always look forward to racing. These guys are pretty quick, so I don't usually keep up with the top 4 or 5, but yeah, I do my best, and yeah, looking forward to it.
Yep, absolutely, as I am looking forward to it as well. Silkweaver, we'll go to you now in P2 and driver of the day. It's been a while since I've seen you on the podium, where you belong. All jokes aside, when I say that, we're good buddies. Qualifying, you crashed out, I believe, or you just didn't set a very good lap time on your second stint. And then the race, you just kind of let it come to you, and you came home with a podium. And
yeah, it was like I think I was like running around like 7th, 8th, something like that. And there's like everyone was like battling ahead of me. So the strategy was just to like stay ahead of them, let them take themselves out, pit early for softs, see how long they can take the softs. I don't know, like one more lap, I probably would have dropped back and Mozzie would have got second, to be honest, just because my softs were dead. But and Killer was coming at me. But yeah, overall good race. It was fun.
Yeah, and we saw the tire difference between you and Killer at the end, and then with the undercut, for you to jump from P7 to I believe it was P5, and then work your way up to P3 and then P2. Really good, strong race from you and for McLaren. Holland next week, good track for you. Or are you looking forward to it, or is it just like a mixed bag of emotion?
No, I hate Netherlands. I hate that track.
Well, at least you're honest. So.
Yeah, I'm horrible. I'm also not only do I hate it, but I'm horrible at it. So
Yep.
we'll see.
We'll see what happens come next week.
Sure.
Catcher,
Cheers.
I don't know if you have any questions for Silkweaver, but that is all from me.
Nope, we're all good. Congratulations to Silkweaver and Mozzie on their podiums. But now we'll go to P1. You're P2 in the championship, but you're 6 points adrift now. After it used to have been 21. Now it's 6. 5 wins on the season. A great chance at that championship. Could you do it? Bree.
Yeah, thank you. I qualified on the mediums because I think they were just going to be, the better race tires. So I wanted to start on those and then at the end go into the softs. So at the start, I just tried to keep up with the top guys and then just hopefully until DRS is activated, then be able to follow them. But yeah, it was a really good race. I just tried to keep my pace up the whole time, and then unfortunately I missed the fastest lap at the end. But I'll take the win, and moving forward to Zandvoort, and just positive.
Well, that's the mindset going in to Holland a week from now. Do you think you possibly can claw back and take the championship away from him? Obviously, with I guess Zandvoort being more so a Red Bull fitted track, if you say in a realistic standpoint. But now you have an equal standpoint, but you still have the backing of a majority of the Red Bull fans because of Verstappen. Do you think you could possibly bring home the Red Bull to the podium, or at least the top step of the podium, and a week from now in Holland?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll go there, do what I can, try my best, and just give it 100%, and yeah, hopefully we get a win there.
We'll have to see how that plays out. Congratulations once again on your win to the Belgian Grand Prix, the 5th of the season. But now, it's going to be done for us in the Tier 2 group. Myself, Heycatcher, LDR Redeemer. We had Silkweaver, we had Mozzie, and the rest of the Tier 2 grid. But, for yet, if you like what you saw, we'll tune in about 30 minutes' time to the Tier 1 stream at the Round 12 race of the Breakout Racing League Tier 1 Championship at Spa-Francorchamps for the Belgian Grand Prix. You can get to hear Mitchie and myself bring to you live the action from the likes of a lot of the drivers, including Chandler, Hoopalicious, Neymar, Bailey, Raptor, Minico, and a lot more. You can see how that plays out in about 30 minutes' time. For myself, Heycatcher, though, and LDR Redeemer, we are going to say thank you for tuning in, and good night, and thank you for watching for the BRL Tier 2 stream.